Jane is in court to claim £690 for a refund and the cost to rectify her lawn after gardening work was not completed to her satisfaction. Defendant Ben says that Jane failed to follow his advice regarding the aftercare of the lawn, and as the work was completed to a decent standard, he owes nothing. He is counterclaiming £2,000 for malicious falsehood.
Now, do I have Jane here?
Yes.
And is it Ben?
Yes.
Now, Jane, back in April 2018, you decided you wanted a new patio.
Yes.
And so you hired somebody to do that patio.
That's right.
For avoidance of doubt, you've got no complaint about how that patio was laid.
Not at all.
And you started looking at the lawn,
That's
right? What did you decide to do, please?
Obviously, the new slabs were going down and it looked lovely, and I already had a lawn in situ, but felt that a new lawn would look better going with the new slabs.
So before the patio was laid, that's what the lawn looked like. Did you go online or on some sort of consumer website in order to find somebody who was qualified to put a new lawn down?
No.
What, in fact, you did was take a recommendation. Who did you take that recommendation from?
From the person who was putting the slabs down.
It's no secret, it's provided a statement. I've known Ben for around 12 years. We've been close friends from a young age. Ben is fully qualified and brilliant at his job. In April, I was contracted to complete some paving work in Jane's back garden.
That's right.
Jane decided she wanted her lawn doing, which I couldn't do because I was also booked up for other work.
That's right.
I knew Ben was amazing at his job and could be trusted, so under my recommendation, Jane chose to give Ben the work. Do you agree with that?
That's correct.
Understood. Now, sir, what was the discussion about how much it was going to cost?
The first option, which I would recommend, is to have the topsoil removed, as it was very clayey.
Just pause. Topsoil removed?
Topsoil removed, yeah. Install new topsoil and lay fresh turf on top for flatter finish.
For a flatter finish. How much was that to be?
It was around £1,200 at the time.
What was the other option?
So the other option was to rotivate and hand prep the garden, and then lay turf on top and board to finish for a flat finish.
Board to finish?
Yeah, so...
Just to be clear, you mean put boards down?
Yeah, so you put boards on top of it and you sort of like flatten it with the boards.
And how much was that option?
£500. Jane said, I've spent so much on the garden already, can you do the cheaper option, basically?
Now, this is important. Madam, does that accord with your memory of the discussion?
No.
Are you telling me that Ben is telling me porkies, complete porkies, when he said he gave you two different options?
I don't recall being given two other options. I remember the £500 option.
Now, you're not an expert in turf, are you, by any chance, madam?
No.
No, and neither am I. I'm going to call an expert. Please, could we get Roy? Thank you very much indeed. We've got Roy now. Thank you very much.
Just mind your step there. Thank you. And just in there, please.
OK to go in there. Thank you very much. Now, Roy, you are a landscape gardener and experienced lawn layer for how long?
30 years.
30 years. You began work on the 25th of April, is that right?
Yes.
What time? Do you remember? It's about 5 o'clock.
It was after my employment job, so, yeah, it was around 5 o'clock, yes, on the evening.
Now, how long did it take you to lay that lawn?
It took around 2 to 3 hours.
2.5 hours sound roughly OK to you?
No, I would expect that to take a while longer to prepare it up.
Your relationship with Jane?
Yes.
Were you happy that she was perfectly content with the work that you were doing, or did you have any concern?
I had some concerns.
Why is that?
Because I would be halfway through the job or, you know, just starting, and I'd see Jane over the back of my shoulder looking out the window. She was constantly over the top of us, checking what we was doing. I was constantly having to reassure her that everything's fine. The job I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. Like, you know, you could just see there was no trust there.
Obviously, he had seen me looking out the window at what he was doing, And when I went out, he was rotivating, and he let go of the rotivator handles and turned to me and said, I don't appreciate you watching what I'm doing. You need to leave me to get on with it. I'm a turfer. I know what I'm doing. That reaction I didn't expect, and I was a little bit taken aback.
Well, what you claim, madam, is that at that stage you were... This is your language, madam, not mine. You were scared.
I was frightened of him.
You shocked to hear that?
Yes.
Why is that so?
Because it's a lie. I was reassuring her. There was no threats, there was no thingy. She was more than happy for us to carry on with the garden. After I reassured her, she went back inside. She said, OK, no worries. Went back inside, continued to look out the window. And I didn't say nothing else. I just literally reassured her and she went back inside.
I didn't carry on looking out the window at you, Ben. I purposely didn't go to the windows at the back of the house because I just thought... I just waited till Andy came home from work, my husband, because I was quite worried.
It's a very strange thing, you see, when you're scared of someone, to allow them to continue to do work in your garden. You'd agree with me, wouldn't you, madam? Don't be stupid. Stay and watch the best Judge Rinder moments. And I'm talking. Understood? Don't be a moron. Subscribe to Judge Rinder YouTube channel. Right now. That's an order.